Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with the Evora GT430. This is this season's PC car, so many newer players will be acquiring this as their one of their Tier 4 cars. One of the common questions that comes up with any Tier 4 car that comes along is that, can this car be used for Tempest 3 Tier 4? The short answer to that is yes, and not only that, this car can in fact beat the entire challenge without swapping. It's one of the better cars. One of the things I've discovered is that this car can in fact also hit 260 mile per hour without any stage 6s. However, for the 1.494 challenge, you will need stage 6s. And obviously for the other challenges, depending on the part drop that you're doing, it could take a little bit of tuning. I'm not going to go through all the tuning for Tempest 3 Tier 4 for this car. What I'm just really going to show you are two things. One is the stage 5 only tune and technique to get the 260 mile per hour. So if that's what you're stuck on, you now have a car that don't need any stage 6 and will get you through. The 1.494 will require, unfortunately, 2 stage 6s, but we'll show you what those are and then go from there. So that this video will be limited to those two items. Now, at stage 5 only, the tune for the 260 mile per hour that I'm using is 5347 tire, 2.90 final drive, and a 2.5 nitrous. Now, using the nitrous at the right point is critical to accomplishing a 260 mile per hour run when it's close. And it's going to be real close with stage 5 only for this car, unlike some other cars where they can do easily over 260 at stage 5 only. For the Evora, unfortunately, it's kind of a tight race. Now, you're going to launch it perfect, or as close to perfect as possible, get into second relatively quick. The real key here is when you get into fifth, where you hit nitrous, and it should be right around the point where it's about to approach that red point on the tack. That's a little bit before. You can change that into, in your own opinion, I guess either a mile per hour or a time or a RPM. It doesn't really matter as long as you start the nitrous so that it ends right at the end of the track, and you will hit 260 mile per hour without any stage 6. Let's go back and look at the parts to verify I'm actually not using any stage 6, and then we'll add the stage 6s that'll be needed to accomplish the 1.494. So here we're going to look at this, make sure that I didn't cheat and use a stage 6 for that 260 mile per hour run. I did not. Okay, now, traditional wisdom always is that nitrous tire trans will help you with getting a better 0 to 60. That's not always the case with every car, especially with this car, because nitrous really doesn't help at all for the 0 to 60. Your best bet here is body and tire for getting that 1.494. Now, why am I saying body and tire? Because body and tire individually gives you some of the best 0 to 60 as a stage 6 added to stage 5 only. The thing about this car is that at stage 5 only, it just isn't enough grip and isn't light enough to pull it off. More power and faster trans shifting doesn't seem to help that much for accomplishing that 1.494. So here I'm going to give you the 1.494 run first. It'll show you could do it by dyno, but we'll show the run anyway. So setting this up, again, people tend to go, okay, just do 5.0, 0 to 100, and you'll be fine. No, you won't be fine. It will be a little bit off. So what will happen is, what you really need is to have second gear in that right at 60, which seems to do its best right around 4.85 in this case. And with that, you don't use nitrous actually, because the car spends tires so much in the beginning. All you're really focusing on is launch and shifting to second. That's it. Once you do that, let it run out second, you get that 1.47. You actually will beat that a little bit. You can actually get under that and get something like a 1.46, 1.45 if you did it just right. Oh, I should have set it to quarter mile, but you do it just right, you will get a much shorter time. 1.45. Okay, and notice I did not bother to use nitrous. In fact, if you look at nitrous, playing with it does nothing to the time on the dyno. That means the nitrous is useless as far as 0 to 60 is concerned. And that probably plays out to be true as well, even before you get to this level of upgrade trying to shoot for this 0 to 60. Your best bet for 0 to 60 always going to end up being trying to get it in that 2 gears and leave it at that. Because the gears top out so fast without getting to other points, you're kind of stuck. Now for 0 to 100, this car start using nitrous right around 3rd gear. So I would recommend either 3rd or worst case 4th gear, depending on what you want to do. At that point, using nitrous may be of help to you because you're actually doing a 0 to 100 run. So you're going to do 1, 2, and then maybe nitrous 3rd or nitrous 4th and play with that to get the best. But for 0 to 60 run, because it's still in the tire spinning cycle, it just doesn't help to use nitrous. Okay, so that one I kind of screwed up a little bit, but it's so fast when you set it up this way, you can just go 1, 2, 3, nitrous 4, and you'll be done. 0 to 100 generally should be pretty straightforward on this car. Now, Tier 4 doesn't have super challenging 0 to 100s. Most of its challenge that people get stuck on would be that 260 mile per hour and the 1.494. So again, this is a definite viable option for beating the entire Tempest. I may look into the actual complete tune, but I think for most players, the most important points are the 2 that I just showed you, so that you know that this car is definitely a contender in not swapping out at all. And I mentioned this in my prior videos as well, but I don't think I demonstrated its capabilities. But this is a good choice for Tempest 3 Tier 4. It's not the fastest car in the Tier 4s anymore, or anywhere close to being the fastest, but it is more than fast enough to beat Donna. And even at stage 5 only, it's doing about a 12.2. So you're okay. You're definitely fast enough. So it's just a matter of making sure you at least have body and tire, and preferably another stage 6. The other thing is, of course, the actual impact of fusions. The green fusions will drop almost 1.5 seconds a time from no fusions. The blue will drop almost another half, and then the red will drop another half a second. So you're reducing almost 3 seconds of time just based on fusions. So you need to keep that in mind. If you're missing a lot of fusions, the car is not going to run the same. All right. So that is a quick video on the 260 mile per hour and the 1.494 tune for this car. I hope that it was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any thoughts or any questions. If you like the video, please leave a like. This way I know that these videos are welcome. If you like my channel, please subscribe so you can get notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my video. I'll catch you next time.